when it comes to dragging it around. So as some of you can recall, we had our form so that we could click on it while our button is pressed. We could drag it around and position it anywhere on the screen. But our labels didn't contain the same kind of code, so we copied that code into the labels, which is why we also have a custom class label here, which is based off of the default label class, where we add those custom events. So, or at least the custom event code. Thank you so much for the follow, Ken. Like I said, if you want to give a little more details onto where you'd like to go with the automation side of things, we could definitely explore that a little bit. So this is our base panel class. That's kind of where we get our regular panel off of. And we have on this side here some of the dependent files required for the PowerShell module. So in this case, we have our PSD. We have some scripts to process. We load our types to make sure that our classes will have access to those types. And that's just kind of like the basic Windows stuff that we need for the forms. Yeah, and there's obviously some order to this, and the importance is there, obviously. And yeah, so when we load up this module, we have a few functions that I just quickly did, like I said, offline. So yeah, let's give it a go. I think this was working in PowerShell 7 last I tried. We were able to switch over to VS Code. So let's see what happens. So import module sr2 panels and get -sr2 panel. Okay, we've got nothing. Let's add sr2 panel. Panel name test1. That's all we have for parameters. Okay, so we added a panel. Now, I believe we can do another one and maybe a third one. And if we do get sr2 panel, there we go. All right, so we have some panels. Now, if I get, let's say, the first one in that array. Ooh, oh no, that's right. Let's. Okay, so let's see. How come that is not giving us? Perhaps it is actually giving us text. Okay, we'll have to revisit the code. As I said, it was very quickly done. I just wanted to get some basic structure. But the idea being that we would import the, let's say we had SR2 running. We would basically start a PowerShell console somewhere. We would import the module. After we import the module, we would have some kind of command like, I don't know, connect -sr2 logger. And that would be the main command to start everything up. So that command would spin up the receiver run space, which would take care of hosting the port for SR2 logger, so it could receive the data. It would also take care of creating some kind of run space to act, I think, as a data bus. I had this idea to only have one hash table or synchronized hash table from the receiver run space to some kind of data bus run space. And then that data bus run space could potentially kind of distribute the data through the synchronized hash tables amongst all the other run spaces for the panels. Now, I did some research in terms of how to access synchronized hash tables, and there's some additional code we'll have to throw in. So we'll have to build some functions to read and write to our hash tables in kind of like a, I guess it's a thread-safe way. Well, we'll look more into that later. Yeah, so that's the goal there. I kind of like the structure this way. It kind of keeps it a PowerShell in a PowerShell kind of approach, and I think it'll be good. So If you have any questions, feel free to drop a message in the chat, and I will definitely try and clarify where possible. Or if you need any help with any PowerShell, all of us would be happy to look at it and see if we can help you out too. Now, if you're watching this stream and you like PowerShell, chances are the last couple of weeks have been a bit hectic, and I am no different. I've had to deal with a lot of let's say last minute work to try and um, scale systems to supply the demand for all this remote work that's had to go on throughout the world. So to all the IT people like me, I take my hat off, and the last few weeks have been rough, but I think most of us have pulled through, and we'll see how things go. But I hope all of you are safe and healthy, and do the best to respect your local governments to try and help control things. So let's get into this. All right, so first thing, we'll need to look at getting our receiver, I suppose, online, and getting a command for connecting. So we have our main module script here. We can maybe bring this up a bit more. We won't need too much of that. All right, so we have our main functions inside our commandlets inside the module file. We'll see if we can establish the connection to the UDP receiver somewhere in here. So function connect-sr2 logger. Now, it's maybe a misnomer because we're not really connecting. We're actually starting up a listener, which is listening for the data from SR2 loggers. So I don't know if that's the right verbiage to be used for the function, but I think it might be a little bit more on the user-friendly side. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter for now. We'll start with that. So, okay. So let's think about this for a second. We need this to basically start everything. So people are going to import the module, and then they're going to run connect sr2 logger. And this will kick everything off. So this is going to be our main starting command. We can basically supply some parameters, I imagine. And the parameters, I imagine, would be port. So we could specify the port for SR2 logger. And I think that is about it. I don't think and that would be optional. We would kind of have a default, which, if I recall, we'll have to double check, is 2738 or 2378. We'll have to look in the archive code I have. Oh no. Let's see. I'll have to bring it up from somewhere. There it is. Okay. So we'll have to do that. Oh, I have a deep Windows background, not so much Linux. I'm interested in making scripts commandlets run without admin intervention, if that makes sense. I've done a little bit of Linux training, but is that something that's better suited for Linux, Bash, Python? Well, you can run PowerShell scripts without admin privileges. What really matters at the end of the day is what you do within those scripts. If you're going to modify any particular system settings, or you want to perform changes to the system, depending on what you're doing, you may need admin privileges. So creating scripts that don't require admin privileges is by no means any form of a barrier to entry. So if you have a deep Windows background, like, you could definitely do it. So for example, some of the work we're doing right now, you wouldn't need to run this as administrator when you would be using it normally. I imagine you would have to install the module from an administrator command prompt, but or a PowerShell prompt. But apart from that, no, I don't think you would need administrator to do so. So I hope that answers your question. All right, so we'll have to establish with our UDP receiver here, and there's our default port. We'll copy it over. What would be... Okay. Okay, I see. All right. So, we'll need a function. Now, this would have to be private. We don't need this. Okay. Connect SR2 logger. 2873. I was close. A little dyslexic there. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you stopping by. Come hang out with us and don't be shy to ask your questions, just like Ken. Especially if you have any challenges, we'd love to see if we can figure out some issues if you have any. Okay, so connect SR2 logger. We have the port. We have the receiver up here. We have a function to read the data. That's okay. We'll copy that. Blah that there. Okay, and I will have to look at, I don't know off the top of my head, I don't typically author modules in PowerShell, so I need to remember how to look up, or how to declare a private member. I think it might just be a private keyword, but we'll have to look. So PowerShell module private function. Private function, yeah, that's probably a better way. How to hide helper functions. Okay. Okay, yeah. So basically, we just don't export it. Okay, I think that's what makes sense. Okay. And yeah, that's right. I think there's a variable SR2 panels. Ah, yes. And from there we could do, yes. So we could actually show dialog, and I imagine it would pop up somewhere. Maybe not. Oh no, it did pop up. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so it is working in PowerShell 7 and through VS Code. So we were able to get away from ISE like some of our viewers were mentioning during some of the last episodes. So looks like the form code is working quite well. So I'm quite happy with that. We'll go ahead and close that. Now, obviously, we can't use things that way. We're going to have to put everything into run spaces, but this was more just a structural concept. Looks like we were able to do it. Now, I imagine inside the run spaces, we'll also import our modules. One thing I'm going to have to figure out is from within the run space, if it's possible for me to kind of make this SR2 panels variable kind of like a global one that exists across you know, all instances of PowerShell. I don't know if that's possible. So it's something I'm going to have to contemplate. But in any event, we don't export this. That's fine. So we'll do, we'll call this SR2 logger byte read. Okay. So that means we have all this. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, that's right. We're going to have to spawn up our run spaces. Okay, so connect SR2 logger. And this is where we're going to have to do our funny stuff. Okay. So, what's this? No. We need to find our main run space. No. Spacecraft, no, that's fine. Let's see. Let's open this. All right, so there we go. We don't have to worry about the add types. We'll add some, ooh, yeah, okay, so this is the tricky part here. So when we import the module, we'll be inside a PowerShell instance. Then we need, we'll have someone type a command to connect. That will spawn up the run space pool and everything. So we'll need to spawn up the run space pool that way. So, okay. 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 So let's copy these. We'll see how this is going to be tricky on how to right. Okay. So, well, if that's global, okay. So if I was going to test that, I could add a new one and do $SR. Nah, it's not going to be available. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay. So, okay. Trash this. This is tricky. So let's just try and get it going. So we'll just connect SR2 logger. We got our byte read there. We'll have to copy this, put this into our module. So the connect SR2 logger will do this. And we'll have to okay, so session state pool. Okay. I imagine. Okay, so pool. Does anyone who's watching know how to query existing run space pools? That would be an interesting way to do it, now that I come to think of it. But connect SR2 logger. So session state. How would we organize this? Now on startup, it's running our scripts to process. So scripts to process could, we could have, let's say an init script, which would, yeah, that would basically populate, I assume, one of our global variables that we define inside the module. So, yeah, okay. So init start RSP run space pool.ps1. Okay, we'll create a new file in here. Start rsp.ps1. Let's have a look at load types. Load types, obviously, is whatever. Okay, so we'll take these out, and we will go in our start RSP. We will try that, and yeah, okay. Now, a question is, scripts to process. When does that run? These are run in the colors environment prior to importing this module. Okay. So, all right. So we could, I assume, set a few things up when it comes to that context. Let's see. So, now, are there when function stacks work out? Okay, there's got to be after. Is there just to be inverted modules assemblies press? I assume that, so we can, I guess, it's gonna export at the end. So I imagine that we could basically do our run space, basic run space pool setup there. Let's try that out, something simple. Put it like that, and export. We'll need to export the variables that we need, so we'll have to put something like that. And we will need to, let's kind of just add some nomenclature to our variables. Okay. There. That's good. Okay. Now we'll need to export, yeah. So let's say SR2 run spaces, SR2 results. Okay. So vars to export. Can we do that? I don't like that the variables aren't highlighted, but okay. So we will need to, so we already have SR2 panels, which we'll have to revisit, which was just a default one I had created. We want to just export all of this stuff, and we'll see if we can just work with it after. So RSP pool, and all right, SR2 run spaces and SR2 results. And let's see, let's go and take this, put this in here. Okay. All right. We'll save that. Import dash module. Can't type. SR2 panels. Do we have to save anything? No. Okay, so $SR2 panels, right? Oh, wait, that didn't get nulled, so let's assign null. Let's try re-importing. Okay. $SR2 export vars to export. Where is it here? Aliases variables to export. Okay. I put star. Okay. I can try just, oop, boy. I can try just putting them flatly in line. I thought maybe a variable would be accepted, but maybe. Can try that. Save. We will create a new one. Let's go ahead and trash our. Oh, no. Okay. Import dash. Oh, let's save. Module. SR2 panels. Okay. $SR. Okay, good. All right. So that's good. Now, let's see, RSP pool. Okay, all right. So we import the module that'll create the pool. That means that we can then save our connect function to basically kick off everything. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Too bad the vars to export won't work, but okay. So this stuff can be put way at the top. Okay. Let's do this, and I just want to try something. No. Okay, so that doesn't exist. So it's going to be tricky. I'll have to, but it'll work. It'll work from an import module perspective, but it'll have to be kind of power. If let's see here. It may end up that the object that's created for the run space pool does not persist if the console window is closed while the run space pool is executing. So we'll have to think about that. But I'm willing to try that, and that would be happy. That would make me happy, fine with that. If we had, it would be at least the PowerShell way. Okay, so that's gonna work. We have our function there. That's gonna work. Okay, so when we import the module, we could do our check. So if okay for each run spaces. Okay. Okay, pull down. Okay, if okay, and RSP pool. Okay. And all right. So if we see our existing, I don't know if that's gonna work. I haven't really worked on many modules in I haven't really worked on many modules before, so this is a learning experience for me. Okay, so we have a bit of our self-check code there. We'll add the runtime just to have that safeguard for now. Runtime in seconds. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, where's spacecraft? Okay. Okay. Srs Control. Receiver script block. Okay, so file, open file. Yes, this one. Oh, I had that. Okay, let's just see. This is a bit cleaner here. So we have our read, and then we have our main loops here. So we'll take these main loops. We'll have to kind of fit them into some kind of command here. So let's see. So connect. There's the connect. All right. port. We'll use log port here. That's fine. Connect SR2 logger, log port. Okay, if, ooh, okay, so if CLI, what were we doing with CLI here? What's CLI here? CLI is the UDP client. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of self-check stuff. Okay. We will need to check to see if there's already, I don't know if this actually works here, but let's save it. Let's $RSP pool dot apartment state. What is it? Dot get type. Yeah. What's this? I think it's STA. So STA. Yeah, no, it's not that. Can't remember what the values are. Oh, well, yeah, it says STA right there. User more. Okay, I guess the parameters would have to change on the run space pool. Okay, so what we could do is we could do, just to see if it's actually getting reset, we could go ahead and close it. And now if we re-import the script, we'll see what the state is, the module. Okay. Is it? Okay, I should probably, yeah, no, I didn't do that properly. So there, and I'll dispose. Now if I check rs pool, is dispose is true. Okay, so now if I re-import my module, let's see. Is dispose true? It didn't. Okay, so it didn't reset it. Okay, so if let me do a quick if here. If $rs pool $rs pool dot close. Hang on. Let's try it right. I don't know if this actually works in module files, but let's try. Okay. No, that doesn't work. Okay. So we can't have the cleanup in here, so that none of that's gonna work. But okay. Okay. So there, we'll go ahead. We need to add those loops. So connect. Okay, so the connection is here. Log port, that's fine. We'll do a global $global CLI equal something, I guess. And that way we'll export it. I don't know why it's called CLI. I'll have to rename that variable. Let's see. Ken has another. Less running as admin, more without human interaction. Like, how do I use a webhook to invoke a PowerShell script? So, now, I'm not big on webhooks. I typically myself stay away from most web-related stuff. But if you're talking about webhooks like Jenkins or Git, that kind of stuff, I don't typically use that kind of thing to trigger automation. Um, Typically because the type of work I deal with is uh, more at the Active Directory kind of level. So I have other forms of triggering things. But if I recall, yeah, you could set up a purely PowerShell kind of, I imagine, listener or some kind of polling PowerShell that will go and check some kind of URL, and then based off that, you could trigger things. So you would, yeah, you would want to create a listener, like just like in our case right here, we're creating a UDP listener. Um, in your case, you'd want to create some kind of web listener or that form of thing, and yeah, and just listen for the triggers. That would be one way. So if you were to do that, you would have to have some kind of PowerShell console running, or have some kind of background task or job or service. Now, if you do a search on the net or on Google for uh, PowerShell and service, there's a really good article. I'll see if I can, or blog post. I'll see if I can find it. But it has a lot of reference to PowerShell Windows Service. I think this is. Oh no, it's not this. Could it be this one? No, it's not this one. No. So I'll have another look for it. But there was a really good blog post by someone who had a lot of information of what you have to do in order to accommodate a service, and in in order to do it properly, from what I can recall from that article, was that you had to throw in a few C# bits to help structure things, but then you could have like a proper service that could respond to all the proper service calls from the service host in Windows. So uh, yeah, I don't. Uh, yeah, there's some PowerShell scripts that you can get that'll act as like that'll kind of wrap your script. You can always do things like that. So you would, in your case, you would create a listener. You'd have it running as a service, and then that listener, based on the data it's receiving and whatever conditions you want, would then spawn off, processes or whatever other PowerShell scripts you would want. So yeah, that's probably the direction you'd want to go. But there's a lot of like automation software out there that you can use that'll help you uh, kind of structure that already. So um, there's Ansible, Jenkins, Chef, Puppet, Orchestrator, uh, SMA and Azure. So there's so many different tools you could use to do that. Typically speaking, I'll do stuff by things like remote management, so WinRM, that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay. So we have to now make it so that when we call our connect sr2 logger command like that will spawn up the run space. So we have our run spaces there. Now the run space, let's see. I suppose we could actually we could really just rip this. We'll copy that. Okay, so init, classes init. Okay, classes init, and let's have one, I guess, for script blocks. script blocks. And then inside there, we'll put in a new file, and we'll call it UDP receiver.ps1. Paste that in here. Now we have our receiver. Now we do have to kind of pull it back. So we will have to leave the time to run. We'll rip out. We'll have to rip out. Actually, no. We'll have to keep all that stuff. We'll just have to add log port. So $log port. And we'll have the default set there. All right. Okay, so now port. Okay. And we have our UDP receiver. Perfect. So we don't even need to have our, well, we'll have the function. We won't need the actual byte read in here, I suppose. Let's comment that out. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay. So that's that. We can get rid of this. We don't need to look at this. Okay, so we have our UDP receiver. We will need to, so when we connect, we'll need to load up that script block. We got to get rid of this. And we have to load up the script block now. Okay, so that's something I don't know about modules. How can I get the directory of the module? There's got to be a built-in variable for that. Let's see. Okay, Powershell module directory, and PS module path is the automatic. Yeah, that's the automatic. But where? I guess. Okay, so I suppose I could set a variable as. There's got to be a built-in one. No, where is it? Does anyone know if there is a built-in variable for the location of the module? Okay. I don't need this. That's okay. UDP receiver runtime. Okay. So connect SR2 logger. We'll have to load up. Let's go and see our map, which was here. Now, this would load up get command. Okay, so receiver script block is going to be a get command from, I guess, $module dir slash script blocks slash UDP receiver. Okay, so that's going to be the right command, but I gotta get module dir. So how do I do that? How do I do that? Does anyone know? Determine PowerShell module path. Okay, so let's try that out. Thank you, Dr. Scripto. So we could just do get dash module sr2 SR2 panels. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that gives us the path to, yeah. So that gives us a path to the PSM1. Okay. $sign PS module path equal module path equal this, or yeah, we could say module file path equal that, module directory equal $sign module file path. Oh, what's module there? Module file path. Okay, so we need to do some string stuff here. So okay, so last index of I think exists. So I think it does. Can't remember. System.string last index of, yeah. Okay. Substring 0 $sign module file path dot last index of okay. Let's try this. Module directory. Okay. Okay. That's gonna work, and that means that module directory script blocks. Okay. I suppose we could put that stuff right. We can definitely put that stuff in the command. Okay, so that's fine. Gets the script block. And let's just output the script block for now. Let's save that. Let's import the module. Okay, and let's do connect. Oh, that's right. SR2 logger. Save. Let's try that. Okay. Are we missing something? Yes. Connect -SR2 logger. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay. I guess we'll try new. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's return that. We'll save this. We'll create a new one. We'll go back to one. Trash. There we go. And import module SR2. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I don't even know if it's supposed to output stuff. Like, let's try that again. Okay. So it is executing. Okay. Now let's try and return. Let's try and return this. Save. And let's try that again. Okay. So that's good. So that means our receiver script block. So let's just try and create that manually. Oh. Okay. So let's yeah, I'm not quite sure why. Let's try that again. This might be something specific to PowerShell 7. Let's run this manually. Okay. Now let's try that again. Okay. Assign receiver script block. Let's see. Okay, it's got some stuff. Dot file. Okay, perfect. Let's return this dot file. Okay, and save. Let's create a new one. Double check our output. Perfect. Okay, so that's working. All right, so we got our script block there. That's excellent. Okay, so that's getting our script block, and now we should also have access to our run space pool, I think. Yes. So RSP should be here. $sign RSP. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we have our script block, and then we have to add our script block. Okay. Add command craft.state. So we're gonna have to create. We're gonna have to create the synchronized hash tables. I think as part of the module variables that we expose. Yeah, if we're going to be, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So all the synchronized hash tables will have to be created as part of the main thread. So in order to do that, we'll have to go and spacecraft. Well, that is okay. 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 So we will have to $ global craft equal. We're gonna have to export the craft variable, and the craft variable is going to be the spacecraft. So spacecraft is going to be a. Ooh, hang on a second. Isn't that going to be a custom class? I think it will be a custom class, so we'll have to open the spacecraft. SR2 logger, add-ons, and let's go ahead and find the spacecraft. There we go. I'll start with the all. I will. Okay, and I will name this just spacecraft for now. Okay. Open. All right. So we have our spacecraft class, which is a custom class, which means that we will have to add it to. I just want to make sure that there's no dirty stuff. Yes. Okay. So there's no dirty stuff. So there's our spacecraft class. We need that to kick off as part of our module, just to instantiate it. So we will class, yes, so we will add the class, let's name it SR2 spacecraft. I'll close it. And that's in classes, rename SR2 spacecraft. And actually, no, let's call it SR2 logger craft data. SR2, no. No, that's fine. Okay, so SR2 spacecraft. SR2 spacecraft. Okay. I think all that's fine. All right, so what we'll do next is go back to our module. Now, we have to load, so okay, so we got the craft class getting instantiated there, and this is before the module is loaded. So that means that we can instantiate the craft as we would okay, so I need to look at a different example because that was not exactly how we did it. Okay, that's right, and then craft equals spacecraft at new. There you go. Okay, so that's how we did it before. Now, hang on a second. Inside the constructor for the class, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I need to make sure the constructor. Okay. This does. Okay, so it's already synchronizing them. Yeah. Okay. So I don't need to have the synchronization code like it does inside here. I just have to instantiate the new craft. So that's fine. And inside here, okay, so spacecraft new, that works. Okay, now I need to expose that variable. Let me call it SR2 craft. SR2 spacecraft. Okay. Okay, so SR2 craft. Perfect. SR2, we'll get rid of this. R2 craft. Then I need to modify the PSD. Functions, variables. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Save. Okay. Okay. Don't need this. Okay. That looks good. Let's just make sure that the craft variable gets instantiated. Okay, so save, new. Let's go ahead and clean up our old stuff. 3, 4. There you go. All right, so okay, perfect. Now state. That's good. All right, perfect. So that's getting our craft object created. Excellent. That's fantastic. Okay. Now, I guess we'll just try and do the default all right now, and then look at making it modular after that. Okay, so there you go. Connect to Srs logger. Okay, that was good. Run space is that. Receiver SD. Okay, connect to Srs logger is now. I guess I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't want it to get added. Actually, I do want to get added. I'll copy that actually, and I'll do it without the begin invoke. SR2 run spaces is what I need to. Let me see if I can global that. SR2 run spaces. I'll have to add it here. Let's see. SR2 run spaces. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. So there we'll have to add the pool. RS. I don't know if I need the global in here. Someone knows better than me, please enlighten me. So RSP, we'll need the pool. And the pool is going to be $pool equal $RSP pool. No, global. Okay. I think. Oh yeah, we have to add the control. The control. Okay. So we'll have to add the control, which is from. Let's see. We don't need to put that there. We can put that and export it. That would be, I think, the right thing to do. We'll export our, and then inside here, what is it? RS control. What is it? RS control global, RS control. I don't know if that's gonna work. I really don't. I don't think so. But we'll try. Okay. I think that's worth a go. Save. Oh, we need to export. What did we need to export? We need to export Rs Control. Rs Control. Save. New. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Connect. Okay, so okay, so that didn't work. That didn't work. Let me try adding. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, save. New. Ah, okay. Excellent. Okay, that works. That works. Fantastic. Okay. So my connect will go, it'll start it up. Now the question is, I imagine Rs Control, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Rs Control is available. Okay. The only thing is that it's not starting that particular run space. Now, I don't really want to start that uh, just right there. Okay, UDP receiver, do while, and okay, okay. So I should be, if I start, I should be able to, okay, I gotta change the structure here, receiver, go back to here, receiver. We can get rid of this. Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. So we're able to import the module, run the command to connect. That's able to instantiate a run space, throw it into a global variable that's accessible from the current context. Okay. That means we would just need to get that receiver going. Now that receiver has the craft object. Now the craft object in this case is replacing the data out. So I want to, what do I want to do with that? I suppose I could keep it as that model for now. Right. That means that inside here where I write the data, which is right here, I would have to add the code for the hash table to properly lock it, which I think I could do. So PowerShell synchronized hash table lock. There's a, I think this was the blog post, or that could be Bo Proxes right here. Okay. Oh, it could have been, this was a good one. Okay, so lock. Ah, there we go. Lock. So this, who's this? Dave Wyatt's. Okay, so my hash table, blah, blah, blah. Let's include for each. Okay. Since this would blah, 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 it's possible to access objects from different threads in a PowerShell session. I thought it might be useful to have a lock statement in PowerShell as well. Mentions that you must explicitly lock the sync root property of a collection to perform a thread-safe enumeration of its contents, even if you're dealing with a synchronized collection. We'd like to be able to do this. I realized that, okay, what? Here's the fun, lock object. Oh, wow, okay. Wow. And that's, oof, that seems a bit much. I mean, it looks good though. Damn. Can I use this? What's this? Input object, script block. What's script block? Script block that is to be executed. Nice. Let me copy this. And let's see. I'll create a new folder, I suppose. Functions. What was this? Lock object dot ps1 paste. Do we have all the credits here? Yes, I think we do. Okay. All right. So let's see. Input object. That's fine. Script. I really want to understand the script block. The script block is while you have a lock on it. The script block is dot source. So example hash blah, 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 lock dot add. Oh, okay. To lock object in a manner that closely resembles. Okay, that's fine. Lock object input object to the script block. Okay, fair enough. That's pretty simple. Okay, so we'll add this to our scripts to process. Start IRSP. Do we have to use this? We don't need to use this, I don't think, because we are doing this at the top of our script. Yeah, I will remove that. Actually, no. No, that's good. We need to take this, start RSP, save. Okay, and that's fine. So the start RSP is going to be right. That's good. Okay, so now we had the lock object. We'll have to run the lock object as well. Lock object. That's just a helper function. So we can do that at the beginning. So this would be functions slash lock dash object dot ps1. All right, that's good. Now, that's good. Okay, so we have a lock object, and that needs to be available to any run space that is going to modify a hash table, or in this case, we're going to keep this the craft state hash table. So and the synchronized hash table. So we need to lock that, and we need to be able to lock it from wherever we're going to lock it. So in this case, our UDP receiver needs to have access to this. And the UDP receiver, we're loading up as a script block, which means that we're going to have to is there any way for me to pass on? I don't think there's an easy way for me to do. to do that. So I will just copy it for now into the UDP receiver. And then let's see if we can just throw in the lock. So lock the sync route, and then we do whatever we need to do. Okay. So lock whatever we need to do is this. Lock $craft. I think that's gonna work. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. The params, what are the params here? Craft. So the craft, we have to pass to the UDP receiver. Don't need this. To the UDP receiver run space. Craft.state, craft is global. Okay, that's good. Okay. That actually looks pretty good. 1, 2, 3, runtime in seconds, UDP receiver, okay, and log port. And log ports. So, log ports. Okay. And I think I can actually go ahead and get this in here. That looks good. And status, okay. I can then comment this out. And after that, okay, so now I'll be able to have my run spaces going, or at least the UDP receiver run space going, and I'll have the Rs Control synchronized hash table that I will be able to use to shut it down. So I will save this. We'll start a new terminal. Get rid of our. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's try connect. Okay. Okay, so SR2 run spaces. Okay. Okay, that is started. Now, do I have any output in this thing for anything? No, I don't have any output. Well, dot increment not equal to close. Okay, so rs control dot run spaces dot this. Okay, so this is running, which means that if I do this, control, okay, that should shut it down. Okay, connect SR2 logger, and that means that I can disconnect dash, function disconnect SR2 logger, and this will basically do what I just did here. For now, that's a very simplistic thing, but at least it will let me, yeah. Okay, so now I'm passing my craft object. The craft object is being created in the context of the terminal. So that means if my UDP receiver is working properly, let's see, craft, yes, okay. That means if my UDP receiver is working properly, then in theory, I should be able to get some data in here. Okay. So I think that's good. I will. Oh, I gotta export the module member. So disconnect -sr2 logger. That's doing. That's good. I need to add that to the PSD. Disconnect-sr2 logger. Okay, so that's good. We'll save that. Okay. So I'm just gonna ask if anyone's curious about what we're doing here. Feel free to ask questions. You could join the Discord. Discord link is in the channel page. If you miss any of the videos and you want to catch up to where we're at in this project, go to the YouTube page. You'll see the previous episodes are there. And yeah, that's it. If you want to hang out in the Discord, you're more than welcome to as well. So I think we may make another coffee here. We're making some good progress. I will actually save this. Let's do a quick test. Port module. Okay, that's good. Now connect -sr2 logger. That's good. And now disconnect yes, of course. Oh no, I added it there. Oh yeah, that's got to be a global. Disconnect SR2 logger. Disconnect SR2 logger. That's fine. Yeah. So let me save this and this. Disconnect SR2 logger functions to export. That's fine. Did I add Rs Control? Yes, all that's fine. Okay, so let's just start up a new one. Oh, wait a second. Did I did. Okay, so that means I have to get it to shut down. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we're at a good starting point now. We have our basic structure just to get move forward with the run spaces. What we'll be doing is we'll be starting up simple rockets. Get that going. Yeah, we'll get that going. There we go. We'll be able to validate, as we were using a lot of the previous code that we did, this should be up and running pretty quickly. Now we're kind of playing with the structure of how we're going to put this into a module and make it usable in an easy sense. Now, ultimately, I would like to get to the point where I don't have a hard-coded structure inside of the spacecraft class. So, for example, inside here with the state and all these predefined properties. Ideally, I want to basically have this start as empty, and the program can dynamically build panels based upon the structure of the variable naming that is coming out of the SR2 logger. So ultimately, I would like to have it kind of work dynamically. So that's where we're going to head with that. Now, I'm going to I'll get some things lined up for our testing. What was I doing here? That's interesting. something, something there. Let's go ahead and change the graphics to be a little more toward what we're trying to do. Let's see. Get a little smaller. Okay. UI. Pull the UI back a bit. I don't know what that looks like on the stream. If that doesn't look good on the stream, please let me know. I'll have a look over here. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, it looks fine. All right. So we'll close that. We'll go ahead and get our stuff set up so we can actually start generating some telemetry out of Simple Rockets 2. Yeah. So technically we could use that, but let's see. SR2 logger tester. There we go. And we'll just make sure we have the right program loaded. Edit flight program. Ah, there we go. Gotta fix that. Load program. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Save the craft. We have the default port 2873. Let's do a quick validation. 2873. And are we calling it in the command? 2873. Yes, perfect. Okay. And we have everything set up. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we're good to go to see if we can start hooking in our data into or at least hooking the telemetry back into the craft object that we have with the synchronized hash tables. And this is being done with the PowerShell module now. So this is interesting. I think we'll take a little 5-minute break, go grab a refill of your beverage, or take whatever bathroom break. That's going to be my choice, is a quick bathroom break. And then when we get back, we will, we'll start hooking everything together. It's going to be interesting to see how we can kind of hook things in together. All right, we'll be back shortly. All right. Let's get this going. So we'll start up a new terminal at the bottom here. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, so now our listener should be started. And what we will do is we will get something going here with the plane. There we go. Get the heading locked. Okay. So now we have that going. We'll activate our activation group. That should start the data coming in. So in theory, if we check our SR2 craft object now, hopefully, no, we don't have data. All right, so that's not working. So it should be running, and it should be here. So now we should, okay, so let's take out that lock stuff. We'll save that. And we will try again, disconnect. There we go. And new. Let's import. And check our craft state again. Yes! All right. Perfect. Okay, so it was that lock thing that we had. Perfect. So we're getting our craft data. It's looking good. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? If guys, ladies, if you like what you're seeing, you enjoy the PowerShell, you want to have a place to come and hang out, look at some different PowerShell stuff, ask some PowerShell questions, please click the follow button. We'd love to have you. I don't always advertise the streams, but if you want to be aware of when I do stream, the best thing to do is to follow me on Twitch. So please. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got our data going. I think it should be running, yeah, it should be running as ad infinitum until we basically disconnect, which is good. That's very good. Now we have our module commands here. This is working well. So we can get rid of this, clean this up a bit. Okay, so that's good. And that's good. Now, okay, let's double check our disconnect. Yeah, perfect. That's working. All right. Now, let's look at the receiver. And it's going to do this until that, and then it's just going to kind of kill itself, which means that in theory, I could reconnect. Why doesn't that work? So disconnect. I'll have to. Okay. How many run spaces are there? Okay, so I added a second one. So I need to, inside the UDP receiver, it should have let go of the UDP receiver in a graceful way. That's good. Okay. Uh, okay. So that means I just need to make sure that if I disconnect, I clean up the run space. So how can I do that? I guess I need to. How can I get? Is there a get run space? There is. Oh. Ah. Okay. So let's see. SR2 results. Ooh. Hang on. What 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 is this? So SR2 run spaces. Okay, I'm only exporting the SR2 run spaces. Uh, where are they getting created? SR2 run spaces. No, no. Okay. How come I don't see this? SR2 run space. Oh, that's right. It's in the yes. Okay, so that's global. Okay, yes. Okay, 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 okay. So SR ah okay. Okay, that's good. And I need to when I so when I set so receiver SB run space, no, I don't need that. But can I okay, so receiver run space instance ID. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it to global. I'm going to declare it at the top just in case. I don't know if that's absolutely necessary, but we will. And we'll just give it nothing. And then disconnect. Okay, so yeah, we will uh, get dash run space dash ID instance ID is gonna be this. Okay. And let's just try that. Okay, save. We'll start up a new one. Close up our others. Re-imports. Okay, and connect. $ SR2 craft.state. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Looks like we're going crazy. Okay, no, not too bad. Okay, so that's working. Now, if we do our disconnect, okay, so we do have a GUID. Oh, oops. So, okay. Yes. Okay. Now, okay, so let me just try and manually get run space on that and see what happens. Ooh. So, does that, but, so that did output something. So, I don't know. Get run space returns what kind of object? And what kind of methods does that object have? Is there any way for me to dispose it or something? So get dash run space. Let's see. Outputs. Okay. Fair enough. Is there a close or dispose on this? Let's see. Run space class. Methods. Close, yeah, okay. Close async. Okay, so it's a close async. And dispose. Okay, so we can just do a dispose. Okay, so dot dispose. That would be the correct way, I suppose. After we send the message, so we'll do like a little start sleep there. Start sleep dash, I don't know, what? Seconds. I don't know why my autocomplete is so weird. My IntelliSense. All right, so that looks good, and yeah, let's save that. Did we disconnect from this? Yes, we did. We'll create a new one. Get rid of this. Let's try that again. Connect. That's perfect. Okay, so that, and now if we disconnect SR2 logger. Okay. Can't. Okay. So I guess the command kind of get rid of it. It gets rid of it. Okay, but that means that this should stop. And now if we connect, what happens here? Receiver as speaker. Okay, that create. Okay. 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 So I don't see why it wouldn't connect again. So I want to try the connect again. And then why doesn't it reconnect? Why doesn't it reconnect? Now, if I check my run spaces, SR2 run spaces, I have 2. That bothers me. Well, I have 2 because it adds it to them. But if I check the pool, is disposed. Run space pool state info opened. How can I? But let's see what. Method. Open, no. Get a bit, no. What's PS primitive dictionary? Get application. Get application private data. What's that? Get application private data. I have no idea what that is. Get application private data. No, nothing. Okay, so we can't restart the UDP listener. And if we restart the UDP listener, it doesn't seem to keep pulling the data. So why would it not keep pulling the data? I suppose that when we connect, we're trying to reuse the same pool. I assume that we could actually just take this out and remove it from here. Oh, that's no good. Save. Okay. Why am I missing? Okay. So, okay. So now I have that. I need to get this is disposed. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit challenging. So, let's see. Don't forget, people, if you have any questions, any PowerShell questions, we'd be more than happy to see if we can tackle them. We're just working on some projects here. A little panel project. Right now we're getting our receiver to... We've got some weird flashing in here. But we have our receiver that's supposed to be picking up the data, and it is working, but we can't seem to restart the receiver. So it's a bit curious. Now, close is to shut down, but we don't... Yeah, okay. So connect to SR2 logger and close, and that'll shut it down. That's fine. We don't really need to be connecting and disconnecting all that much. But still, why would it not be resetting the... Does anyone have any ideas? A bit confused here, but that's okay, because it is still working. Now connect SR2 logger. Now we already have our add panel command. Now when we add panel, we're gonna have to pass it the craft object. So there we go. Panel name is a string. We'll just explicitly put that there. Let's see. Okay, that's good. New panel name. Okay, so when we... Okay. So we can, I assume we can put all the stuff in the module and still import the module from our run spaces, but only use particular parts of the module, which I think will be feasible. At least the class kind of stuff, I suppose. Okay, so add SR2 panel. Add SR2 panel. I'm gonna want to have a function to stop, so and start. So start SR2 panel, and function stop SR2 panel. Okay, and let's see. Okay. For those, we'll just need the name. Oopalai. Got to get the right structure. Start at, yeah, that's fine. Stop is going to be the same deal. Okay. All right. So we've got that. Okay. Now our add SR2 panel is going to go ahead and construct the run space just kind of like our our UDP receiver. So in this case, though, so try if global SR2 panels contains this, throw blah. Okay, that's fine. Catch error. Now, here is our script block. So panel script block equal. Where's our proper? I have it. I can't remember. Where is it? Archive old script blocks. I think I can just do it. Panel script block equal script. Whoa, script. Script block create. And I think I have to script block create. I'm curious. I do want to look that up. Script block create method. String. What's a string? Create a script block based on a string to be parsed. Okay. All right. So that's what I thought. So script block is going to be here. And this script block is going to import dash module sr2 panels, which will make the class available. And then it will create the new panel. We're gonna have to add a key to Srs Control. So gonna have to add a key, which is gonna be right here. Throw these in. Okay, so okay, yeah. So $sign global rs control dot add. We're gonna have to run spaces dot add, and this is going to be the panel name. So here $panel name, and the value is going to be this. $sign panel name. Okay. I have no clue if that's going to work. So run space. We're going to have to put in some stuff here just to remember to replace that. I have no idea if that's going to work. I guess we'll see. Add a sr2 panel. Okay, there's a script block create. Okay, import module, this panel name. Now, right now it's just the panel name. So we need to look at our classes, and we're gonna have to see if we can extend our custom panel class to have a constructor that includes the craft data. So let's call it craft data, which is going to be the synchronized hash table. And yeah, so at this point, okay, so the craft data, yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'll be constructing with that. That means I have to update this. That's fine. Global SR2 craft. Okay. Now import module this. Panel name. I have to update this. Ooh, okay. So this is going to be craft. We'll call it inner craft. We'll call that inner craft. And then inside here we have to. Where is it? Yeah. So we'll have to put params here. So param script block is going to be panel name. I don't like using this. So PNL name, and inner craft. So PNL name. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so that's good. All right. Add a SR2 panel, that's good. We're adding our names. We need to pipe this. We're gonna have to copy a little bit the script block. Okay, there we go. Script block, run space pool. This. There's the script block. So receiver, no, panel SB run space equal panel SB, and then the panel name, which is going to be here, panel name, and then it's going to be global SR2 craft, SR2 craft. We're going to have to add the Rs control. So $ inner CTRL, and we'll have to yeah, inner CTRL. We'll have to pass that. We'll update our panel. This one, inner control. We'll just call it control. Craft data. Inner control. Okay. Global SR2, and then this is gonna have to be global $global rs control, and then I think we're good with the arguments there. So then we have our panel run space, and now with our panel run space, we have to configure the pool. Pool I'm passing as a parameter. Right here. Okay. I'll have to do the same thing as down here. So pool. There we go. Pool. And receiver. No, we gotta update this stuff. So the panel run space is gonna have that. Yeah. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. Panel. Global receiver. Oh no, we don't need that. But we do need to add, if possible, to panels list. Okay. Now global SR2. Okay. SR2 panels. Yeah, we need to add it to the panels. So SR2 panels. So $ SR2 panels global SR2 panels plus equal. Now, how was I doing that before? Okay, so where are they? I don't think that's gonna work. No, actually, I think it'll work. So plus equal. I don't think I'll try actually. That's gonna be tricky. So let's just add it there. That's fine. Begin invoke. Okay, so then SR2 panel. Let's see, add SR2 panel. How do I want to do this? So when I add the panel, I guess it should display right away. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So show dialog. Let's try that out. Okay. And then, yeah. So that's when I add. Okay, that's fine. So I won't in the end need those extra functions for the start and stop because just the add and the remove will be getting them going on their own. So let's try that. Okay. And what can we do from this point? I think we can test. Our plane is still flying, surprisingly. Nice and stable. All right, so let's save this. That's all we need to save. Let's get a new terminal up. Oh, whoa. Okay, I see. Okay, so add panel. So I suppose what we'll have to do is we'll have to I think this is sufficient. Yes. Okay. Oh, but that's fine. Save. Okay. So let's connect $SR2 craft.state. Yes. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So that's working. So now add SR2 panel dash panel name test. Oh, didn't like that. Okay, so SR2 panel. Okay, that's right. I have the base. Okay. Do I want to be passing this stuff to the base? I am not sure. I'm not sure. So I guess I could. So put that there. Save. Save. Let's try that again. Disconnect. Okay. Okay. Do we need I'll just try the default okay, so what is it not liking with throw error? Let's sign error. Invoke method on null. Okay, so it's trying to do something on null. At what line? Line 52. Okay, of course. That's why. Of course. That's fixed. Okay, so that should do it. Let's disconnect. Okay, create a new one. Connect. Oh, I saw something pop up though. Yeah, we do have a panel. Okay. All right. So we're getting somewhere. All right. Now, why is it throwing an error? Why is it throwing an error? Let's inspect again. Method not found. Op addition. Okay. I know what it is. So it's here. Global run space is equal. Global run spaces plus. Save. I think that'll be good. And of course, got to open up a new. That is a bit annoying. Let's see. Still another error. Okay, but got our panel up. I forgot to clear. Silly. What's this? Method not op addition. Oh, I didn't fix line 52. Op addition. Okay. So I think what I need to do is add something here. Run spaces equal. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I suppose we don't even need to do this stuff. We can just... We'll just invoke it. That should get us past the error. Yeah, that should get us past the error. So let me redo again. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's good. So fantastic. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we got a panel now. And this should be running in one of the run spaces. Let me see. So we should, well, it's not getting added to that collection of run spaces, but that's okay. What about Rs Control dot run? Good. We got it in there. Okay. So that's good. Okay. So. Okay. Thinking about this. I got to think about how to. So I'm passing the craft data. The craft data to the run space for the panel. Now when the panel loads, it'll do its thing. I'm going to have to instantiate labels dynamically. And the panel name is going to dictate which of all the keys inside the state hash table are going to be displayed on that particular panel. So if I have a bunch of logged variables that start with velocity, like whatever, velocity XYZ or something like that, well, it will automatically group those into the same panel. And it does that, if I recall correctly, by the first capitalized word. So you can basically name your panels one word with this. I could change that for some other kind of flag in the future, but I kind of want to keep it simple for now, so I'll leave it as that. And I will then have to, yeah, that'll work. Okay. All right, so now there's no hello base data here. Let's see if my craft is actually getting, if I'm actually getting the craft data. Yes, I am. It's live. Okay, so that's getting passed to the panel. The panel should have that data. So that's good. Okay. All right. All right. I gotta think about this. Yeah, again, if you're just joining us, please click the follow button if you want to be given notifications when I go live. I don't always create posts on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or whatnot, but if you really want to be aware of when I go live, give me a follow on Twitch, please, and you'll receive all the notifications when I do smaller streams where I make smaller incremental bits of progress on this. So please and thank you. So I think at this point we have a nice working kind of subsystem. It's not really complicated. It's not really evolved all that much, but it is using a module. It is connecting. It is getting the data. It is kind of sharing that data. Or at least we think it is right now. That's going to be our next few steps. Is actually going ahead and seeing if we can, in our panels, get a few labels loaded with some data dynamically, like we were doing in our initial kind of proof of concept, which for those of you who are tuned in earlier may have seen on the pre-stream screen. So we're kind of all set up now to really start plugging in that data into um, these run spaces that we're going to spawn up with the commandlets from the module. I think we'll take a little break. I'll have to refill another coffee. So go ahead and refill your beverages, like Joe says on Impractical Jokers. And I'll meet you guys back here in about 5 minutes, and we'll be plugging stuff in a little further. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys shortly. Thanks for sticking around, guys. All right, and girls. So we'll get into hooking in our things here. Let me just fix my curtain with the light blaring in my face. That's not going to help. All right. So our plane is still flying steady. The default plane. Thank you. Okay. Let's see if our data is still live. It should be. It sure is. Okay. Okay. So, let's see our panels. Get -SR2 panel. So when we added a panel, we won't be able to add it to SR2 panels. I don't think so, because we're just creating a script block. And yeah. So we won't be able to have and remove. We're not going to have a way to close it. This is going to be tricky. So, okay, so let's just go and do some cleanup because we did some modifications. So here, export members. Okay, we didn't do anything there. That's fine. And did we add anything at the bottom? No, we didn't. Okay, so that's good. That's fine. So now we have the panels getting spun up by this. We are passing the craft state. So what we should do is when we kick up a new panel, we want to add a label. And the label is going to be, I think, our custom label. Yeah, right here. Which, okay. So let's do this. And here, import module. Okay. This. Okay. Okay. So now we will be able to add a label to something. We'll call this label test. And, well, test. And LBL test. We'll make it, that's its size. Okay, that's fine, because we'll just like try to put the count of the keys just to make sure that we're getting the keys. And then we'll like put some kind of data in there. So let's see the size. Or the location. No, we're gonna have to offset the X here by, let's say, 25. And we can keep the Y the same. That's fine. Label test. And then we will have to add that. So this dot controls. Controls dot add $LBL test. Okay. So I think that's gonna work. Now we can try and yeah. So now what we'll do is we'll just launch it up. See if we get our test label. I think we will. Oh, I forgot to disconnect. That's no good. We might have jammed things. So import module SR2 panels. Ah! Okay, yeah. Whew. Okay, so we didn't jam it. That's good. So we have that. Now let's try and add SR2 panel dash panel name, whatever, test. Okay, no errors. We got the panel. Okay, so we got some text in there. That's good. We can increase the size a bit. So that's in here. Yes, so that's the position. The size is over here. Let's make it, I don't know, 100. Save. Try it out again. How's everyone doing? You guys having a good day? Enjoying the time at home? Time for self-reflection. So import module, connect, and add to panel. Okay. So I think I will move the position more. Might be blocked. So 40. Save. Let me go back and disconnect. I'm a bit paranoid about that. I've had enough trouble with the ports in the past that I don't really want it to jam. It becomes annoying. So panel name test, that launched. That's looking better now. Okay, so we have a decent label that we can use for testing. So let's go ahead and just close that. And now we will make the value of this to be, let's do nav heading. So craft data. Whoa. Dot nav heading. I think that should work. Save. And now it should be a one-time kind of thing. So okay, and okay. Okay. How is this gonna work? Save. Okay. And I also want to disconnect SR2 logger, but I want to show SR2 pals connect dash SR2 logger, and then add dash SR2 panel name test. Okay. So create a new one. Pow, push this here. Okay, so that's going to be still nothing. So that's unfortunate. Let's try a count, I suppose. Okay, so something. It's not good, but it's yeah. Okay, so we have that object coming in, but it doesn't seem to be. Doesn't seem to be. I suppose. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Let's try this out. No. Okay. So this is a bit tricky now. This is a bit tricky. So we can't. Okay. Craft data is not. We're not getting at a craft data. So what? That's the constructor. That's the constructor. So I'm not quite sure how. So this is a bit difficult right now because we have our craft object. We're passing it to the run space when we do this. Inner craft and inner control. Wait a second. Yeah. Inner craft, okay. Oh. I think that was it. All right, let's see. Welcome to all of the people tuning in. Hope you enjoying it. This is Powershell done poorly. We're just experimenting with run spaces and panels and trying to extract some data or telemetry data out of this flight sim here. So let's disconnect. Let's save. I think this might work. I think this might work. Let me just double check. That's it. I think that's it. Okay. Let's do this. New. Okay, no errors. Yes! All right. All right. All right. So we've got our data now. We've got our data inside accessible here. All right. This is fantastic. Great success. All right. So we know that our synced hash table is getting in there now, which means that we can enumerate things based on the panel name. So this is kind of why I built like the classes this way, so it would let me kind of segregate the code. So now I can kind of put all my panel specific code in here, which is going to be nice and clean, and it's going to be, as long as I use the labels like my custom label, then it should look pretty decent. So okay. Okay, so let me think here. What are I kind of, okay, let me see. So well, it's still live. That's fantastic. It's working nice and smoothly. Okay, that's good. So what I want to do here is dot keys. Yeah. So let's say $results equal $results dot keys sort dash object. Okay, so now I want to pick something that just to begin with is easy. We can do time. So the goal here for me will be to create a panel with a panel name that contains a word. So let's say time. And then it will have access to the craft state synchronized hash table. It'll use that as the title of the panel, but it will look through all the keys of the hash table for keys that begin with that word. And of the keys that it finds, it will then dynamically display those keys and their data inside the form that it launches. So that's the goal here. Okay, so $temp data equal $craft data. Okay, and then temp data dot keys sort object where $dash like $panel name star. Okay. Then key data, let's say keys to display. So we have keys to display there. And it'll work decently because we're just kind of getting the whole hash table. It'll be like one read. It'll have less collisions because we won't be enumerating through that. We'll be enumerating through the copy in memory. That'll be good. All right. So we have the keys, and then for each key, for each $, key in keys to display. For each key in keys to display, we're going to create a label. So $TMP LBL equal $null. And then there we go. TMP LBL equal this. The name is the name. The two time, that's the name. So the name is going to be, we're going to call the name the key. So we're going to call the label LBL and then that. And then the data will be we can do a static thing just to start. Yes, just to start, it'll be a static thing. Okay, so the data will be in that case, craft data $key. That's it. But we will have to iterate. So while we iterate over, we'll have to add it as well. So $this dot controls dot add TMP LBL. And we're gonna have to iterate over the positioning. Okay, so that's one label. Now this label is going to be, I can't remember the width. The width is 300. Okay, so the width is 300. We're giving 100 pixels for the name of the label or the value, and that's going to be offset by 40 from the left, which gives us a total of 160 remaining. So the next starting point should be 160x. Yeah. Okay. So temp label 2. Oh, and the positioning of this one's going to be 160. Okay, and this one is, yeah, so like this is just going to be $key. And this one is going to be label data. And then that. That will be the actual data, and this will be off to the right side. Perfect. And then we'll add. I could add range. I could do an add range. Yeah. Range. I think it's this. TMP LBL2. And then we'll need to make sure TMP LBL2 is null first, just to wipe it, just in case. Okay. So that looks good to me. Now, we're adding the controls for each of them. That's good. The thing is that as we go through them, we're going to have to iterate to... So the size is 16 by 100. The width we don't really care too much about. We have that kind of figured out with the positioning. However, we need to think about the why. So we need to think about how we scale things, or not scale, but shift things down. So I assume we're going to be going by 20 with y. So y offset per row equal 20. And then we'll say $y data start equal, where's the position? Here's the position. It's 18. Or y data pos counter equal 18. And $y data pos counter equal $y data pos counter plus $y offset per row. And this will be there we go. Okay, so that should kind of set things up, I think. I think we can get this to work with time. So if we save this, and now if we go and open up new terminal down low, we disconnected there, that's good. Let's disconnect here. All right, let's kill our two terminals. All right, so import dash module. Oh, I have the okay. There's our panel. Okay. Ah, that's right. Yes. Okay, so let's try that even further now and aim for time. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is fantastic. All right. So, what can we do? What can we do here? We'll have to do some formatting. That's fine. Um, okay. That's pretty good. Okay. So, that means that I can also do velocity. That's fantastic. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. All right. Hey guys, if you like what you're seeing, please click the follow button. Thanks everyone for who's tuning in. I'm just having some fun today, sharing it with all of you. And yeah, I just hope you're having a great day and making the best of these times. So let's see if we can have a little fun together. And now, of course, because we're using the custom labels or the custom class label that we have the drag functionality for the clicks, which is nice. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That's really working how I was hoping it would work. But it would be good to have. Now, one thing I'm really unclear of is I have the module, and let's clean this up. There we go. Okay, so I don't. We're gonna have to revisit that whole kind of SR2 panels variable because it's not really gonna work the same way anymore. We'll have to base it off the run space. Now, okay, so in the run space, Rs Control, I should have run spaces. There you go. So dynamically they got created. That's good. That's good. So that means, okay. Now, on close, I think I should be adding, I need to be adding an on close event so that when the windows are closed, they'll go and they'll remove their entry from the RS control. I think that's something important. So I need to be adding that as part of the class, I suppose. Let me see. Let's see. Anyone have some suggestions on maybe a cool way we could do that? Please please chime in if you'd like. Also, if anyone has any PowerShell questions, please feel free to ask. We're always looking to help out each other here, so it's always fun to see what other people are encountering and seeing how other people approach things. So please share your issues if you have any, and we'll try and approach them together. So we have this, and we need to add an onClose event. And our onClose event will simply remove. I need to figure out the specific name of the event. I think it's onClose. I can't remember. So system.windows.forms events. Yeah, this was handy. Okay, so form closing, closed, deactivate. Okay, so what we need is on closed. Closed. Okay, closed. Simple. Form load, form closed. Okay, perfect. So closed is when we will go and remove. So we have the run space, the synchronized hash table here as craft data, which means that if we add an event, can we access it? Can we access it? This is this dot craft data. Hmm. Oh, no, it's not the craft data. It's the control. It's the control. It's the control. So the control. So let's see. Let's see what we can do for events here. So this add closed, and then we don't really care about all this stuff. We just need to $control, $CTRL. I so rarely have to remove stuff. I can't remember it's got to be just hash table, Powershell, remove. It's got to be just like a simple remove call, but with the key name. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so control. What's the structure? Control dot run spaces dot run spaces dot. This is a hash table, so we'll have to do that. Dot remove, I think, or maybe just dot remove. Maybe I'm not quite sure. Dot remove, and then this will be sender dot name. Sender dot name. Okay, I think hopefully it's as simple as that, and we'll give it a little go. Create a new terminal. Here, trash this. Oh, I forgot to disconnect, but that's okay. Time. Okay. So I have this, and now if I go in here and I Rs Control, yep, I do see the. Okay. Now if I go and I close this, so that didn't work. That didn't work. Add panel. This is okay. So panel base sender CTRL dot run spaces dot. Hmm. CTRL. That's the constructor. How can I need to, so basically on the closed, I need to affect something that's a parameter, the referenced parameter. Huh. How can I do this? This is tricky. So on closed, you know, I'm going to try something. I'm just going to, I mean, I did have the other, I should be at least trying that. So I'll save that. I'll have to disconnect. So disconnect from here. Just be safe. And then this. So $, yeah, times it's time. State. Okay. Okay, so that is getting created. So verify with the Rs control dot run spaces. Okay, now dot remove. So I do have a remove there. Now I guess what I could do is $ this dot ctrl this dot rsctrl equal $trl, and then sender.ctrl, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. $sender.ctrl. I mean, this is a long shot. I really, admittedly, I don't know what I'm doing here. So don't get your hopes up, people. Let's disconnect. I just, yeah. Srs Controls blank. Okay, good. Let's try that. Srs Control. Okay. Dot run spaces. Good. Okay. So that's okay. So now I can close this. Dang. How am I going to do this? I guess I don't need to put this here. I can take off what this little garbage thing I added, and I'll need to. How can I do this? This add close. CTRL. I mean, I don't even know how to add parameters to this. I don't think I can. And I have to reference CTRL. Is there a this dot params? I'll say this dot. Oh. What? Can I get that? $this dot param. Well, yeah. This reference. This no, because this is gonna be. Well, no, this is gonna be right. This is gonna be my customization. So, right. So, params would have to be part of Windows Forms. So system.windows.forms, and we need to look at properties. And param. No, there's no param. So that's got to be some kind of built-in thing we can't really use. So, I mean, we'll try adding it here. No harm in doing it there. Unless we take this, and so that's SR2 panel, but we instantiate the panel here. If we then how do you add? I mean, I think you just add it like that, and then yeah, and then inner CTRL dot run spaces sender panel. Yes, okay, so but this, yeah, that will be okay. Okay, all right. So this is another option. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it might. Maybe a context kind of thing. Hopefully it works. Let's see. Okay, so that's saved. We gotta create a new terminal here. We gotta clean up our garbage. Okay. Oh no. It didn't open the panel. It didn't open the panel. It still added the run space. I suppose I don't know. I suppose I could do $sign panel or PNL name here, so it gets translated, which means I don't need this. I think I could try that. I think I could try that. So okay, so new disconnect trash. It's saved. Oh no. Okay, so that doesn't work either. Okay, so we gotta kind of rip this out. It really doesn't like that. Save. And we still don't have the means to rip it out, so. Okay, so we'll have to do that. Disconnect. Yeah. Oh no. Manual reset event. Let's see. Rs control dot run spaces dot receive. Oh no. Okay. CMD. Okay. Are we receiving data? SR2 craft dot state. Hang on a second. I'm not seeing it. Oh yeah, okay, data's fresh, that's fine. Okay, so that's working. This, that's fine. SR2 panel, okay, panel name, that's fine, all that's fine. We don't need the test label. We don't need that. Base panel, we did some stuff here, we removed it. Okay, so all that's fine. Let's just try and add panel velocity. Why isn't it displaying? Oh, velocity. Do we break something here? We may have broken something, so... Okay, so let's see if we can fix it. Huh. It's not the UDP receiver though. It's not the UDP receiver because the data is getting updated. Yeah, it's not the UDP. So the UDP receiver is fine. Something with our panels now is not good. And I'm pretty sure I removed everything that was questionable. And I did. What's... I think I'm going to trash everything. Okay. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Phew. All right, so that's good. Okay, so we got something there. We won't worry about the closing. We won't worry about the closing for now. So we do have the data in there. That's fine. So now we're also going to have to add, as part of this code here, we're going to have to add a timer to update the data. And now how are we going to do that? I have some examples of how I did that with some of the previous panel files. Let's go and find them. Was it here? No. So what are we looking for? We are looking for, right, the timers. No. Right. So the timers, let's see. Let's see if we can find the timers, use them as a reference. Panel timer, there we go. And this needs to basically be placed right before the show dialog. So part of here, I suppose. Now, okay. So the panel timer. So we have to pass the panel object. And the panel object is going to be the SR2 panel. Timer craft. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's go. Timer craft. So timer craft is going to be the state. And the state at this context is what? It's inner craft. We don't have to. So we can just do inner craft. We don't need that. And then panel telemetry types. Oof. Yeah, we're not doing that right now. We're going to take that away. And we'll pop it out of here. because it's not even used anyways. So we have our tick, we have our panel timer start. What's our interval? It's 1 second. That's fine just for testing. It's going to be enabled. That's fine. That's fine. Timer crafts. Okay. Okay, so now we have to, for each, okay, so value labels equal LBL data. I think it's LBL data. Yeah, LBL data. So LBL for each so we got to go like this. We got to go data. Like for each LBL data in for LBL data, so data labels, so data labels, and LBL data, for each LBL data in this, then we will then go to, we don't need this. We don't need that. We just need to LBL data dot text equal okay. So the data is going to be right now it's going to be here, it's going to be LBL data LBL data dot name dot replace exactly what I did with above there. Okay, so replace this and LBL data, replace it with nothing. Whoa, that has to go like that. Okay, name that, replace. Okay, I think that will work. I think. Yeah, I think that will work. Okay, so let's try that out. We'll do the disconnect just to be safe. Okay, new. What? What's happening? Why didn't it pop up? Okay, it doesn't like the panel. Sorry, the panel timer. So let's isolate that. We're gonna have to make sure it's the panel timer that's causing an issue. So okay, so we have that. We'll save that. Disconnect. Okay. New. Okay, so yeah, so we isolated, yeah, so that's good. We've isolated it to the timer. So let's slowly roll this through. So timer, interval, all that. that shouldn't have an issue. I'll save that. We'll DC, create a new one. We'll go import module. We still have that, so that's working. That's good. Okay. We can disconnect, and now let's see if I don't think it'll have any issue with the script block per se. This should be fine. Panel, SR2 panel. Dot update. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean that looks good. So okay. Let's see. We will just try adding the tick. Shouldn't be any issue with that. So invoke command panel timer SB, that's fine. Intercraft. I mean, I think I use intercraft somewhere. That might be the issue. So let's no. I mean, it was working with that there, so it should be fine here. And then, okay, so we just won't start it. So we'll just go ahead, pop in there. Let's see. That did run. So, okay. So it does like, oh, hey. It's working. Wow. All right. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. So time. All right. Now let's clean this up, I suppose. Accidentally working. That's happened a few times. I'm not quite sure why I don't need to start. I don't need to start. Why don't I need to start for the panel timer? That's a bit strange. Okay. Well, I guess I don't need it. So let's just clean it up. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay. So let's just clean that up. Let's try and push it a bit. We'll create a new one and we'll just clean up. One more. Yeah. Okay, so we won't add any panels. We'll just get the connection set up. And then let's try and do some stuff here. So add SR2 panel dash panel name time, like we were doing. Make sure that works with the, yeah, there it is. Okay, let me see if I can resize things here. Yeah, let me minimize, go back here, there we go. So that's going, and yeah, okay, let's add another one. Velocity. Now, I know that there's vectors in here, so there's going to be display issues, but all right. Now I can do altitude, let's say. Altitude. That's fantastic. Okay, so as part of my function to add a new panel, I need to make it so that the panel will scale appropriately for the sizes. But in the past, when I was doing that, that was dependent on me making sure that my data was properly scaled. So in some of the data fields, like you can see velocity target, that is a vector. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do. So I suppose my first task would be to identify vectors. So I'll have to identify the vectors, which will be a lot of the values. But well, like if I do if I do sr2 craft dot state, I just do that, and let's see, what can I mean, I could do inputs. So yeah, well, if I wanted to see, like if I want to see inputs, I could just do add SRT panel input. There you go. There's my inputs. Yes. All right, guys. So we've done a lot of progress today. The stream's been running for 3.5 hours. I'm starting to get tired. I'll keep going for some overtime. I think I'll take one more break and then we'll keep going for maybe about an hour more. I really appreciate all of you tuning in so far. So please click the follow button if you'd like to be notified the next time I go live. Looks like our things are kind of working nicely here. So far, so good, actually. I do like it. It's pretty dynamic now. We're gonna have to do some UI stuff, but it looks like the module is kind of getting to the point where we left off with the last episode. So we've kind of migrated our code from one big monolithic kind of script file, or close to, into more of a PowerShell module structure. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I think we'll take one last break, like I said, and continue on for about an hour more. So if anyone has any PowerShell questions, now's the time to post them in chat. And yeah, and we can address them over the next hour or so. We'll keep going after the break. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned, and we'll be back. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. All right, let's uh, let's get back into it here. So we've managed to get our custom classes working in PowerShell module. We have our panels displaying live data now, or more or less. Um, Seems to be working nicely. We have to maybe start identifying the vectors. So first exercise would be maybe to start doing that. So how can we identify the vectors? We're going to have to do that as part of our this section right here, I think. So the vector values for skipping of label of value name labels. Okay, so once again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll chime in and see if we can help out. Okay, and how are we gonna do this? So I guess we got to look at the data. So first things first, let's get the data. The data is going to be what? It's going to be for each key, so it's going to be this. And if this, and how are we going to identify it? We're going to, so what, that's got to be a string value. So let's say we have a string. So let's say we have a string like 0 space 0 space 0. Contains, can we do that? Contains, yes. Okay. So we could dot contains and then just look for space. And if there's a space, then in theory it should be a vector. So in that case, we will set the value to of the label. Well, we know that the spacing, we know that we'll have to do the second one 3 times. Else, yeah, and add range. This is going to happen no matter what. So this can go up here, and we can just add that control, I think. Just have its own line. And this will be TMP LBL. Okay, so we are gonna add that there. And that's gonna be at, okay, that's perfect. Now, if that, else this. Yeah, and if we'll have to do this. If it's here, then we're gonna have to do 3, or this plus 2 more, so 3 times. And then we're gonna have to do a split here, a split and for each of the 3 values of the vector. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So $sign TMP vals equal I mean, this is gonna get messed up if it's a textual value, for sure. For sure. But let's start somewhere. So temp vals equal craftdata.key dot. We don't need the contains. We can just split and for each vec val in tmp vals, tmp vals equal $null. Okay. And then for each in here, okay. We gotta move this in here. And we can take this off. And then this will have to be an add of the current label. TMP label 2. Okay. And we have to ignore all this. Okay. This is this. Okay, right. And this is the value of this is going to be vecval. $ vecval. Whew. Wow. Okay. Okay, so this is tricky. This is tricky here because we're gonna have to figure something out about, yeah, let's see. This is tricky. So we're gonna have to create a new value. And if it's a vector, then we're gonna have to add we're gonna have to I guess we'll add a 1. We'll see how that goes. Well, not a 1, but we're gonna have to add a counter here. So the counter here will be $vec count equal 0 or 1. $vec count plus plus $vec count $vec count. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, I think this will work. Now the timer, though, the timer is gonna need some help. So we're getting all these. So for each label data in data label, so $, root value name equal $LBL data dot text dot name. It'll be name dot replace LBL data with nothing, and again replace yeah, I guess so. Replace, gosh, I can't type. Okay, so v1 with nothing, and there we go. Copy, paste, 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 and we'll just clean up the input. So root value name is that. Now we will then get root value data equal $timercraft dot root value name. Okay. And if root value data dot contains, well, I guess contains a space, we know it's a vector. Let's say vector detected, else we'll do a regular update. Okay. Okay. Okay, so a vector is detected. So at this point, vector data equal $null, and vector data equal $root value data dot split by a space. And when this is going to be a vector, then if $LBL data dot name dash like star v1, we know that's the first value of the vector. Else if let's just, you know what, yeah, else if this, and then one last one, else if, and then v3. Okay. Okay, so we have our 3 cases for the 3 values of the vector. Okay, so vector data. So label data dot text equal $ vector data 0. 1 and 2. I think that will work. That's a lot of changes without testing. Okay, so let's disconnect SR2 logger. There we go. Create a new. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our test. Okay. I was a bit hopeful that we wouldn't have to deal with that. Okay, so for each, let me get rid of this. We don't need this. Or actually, what's this? That's okay. So it's got to be the timer script block. Save that. We will. All right. That was a bit greedy. Let's start up a new one. Go ahead, kill this. Hey guys, if you like the stream, please click the follow button. Always appreciate new people, and yeah, nice little community. PHP is so slow to code. So slow to code in what sense? Thanks for coming by, Patria Socialismo. Okay, so we commented that out. We need to test our thing. Okay, so it didn't like that. Now we also added all this stuff over here. So okay, we can get rid of this. We didn't need this. Okay. Okay, so panel. So we have all these weird for eaches as well. So we got rid of the timer, but it's still the population. Okay, so okay, so it seems like our initial seeding of all these labels is not perfect. So let's do this. Okay, and that should be fine. And we have the timer out as well, so we'll save this. Save, save. Go ahead, disconnect. Add a new one. There we go. Okay, we got around that. Okay, so close that. Now let's go back in. We should be able to get our timer to work as is. So just add that there. Save this. DC. New. Let's go ahead and Ah, why? Okay, it really doesn't like the panel one either. So, where name like, okay, for each label data in data labels. So, okay, let's save this. And DC, retry. Okay. Still doesn't like it. Why doesn't it like it? So it's not because of that. Okay. Okay. This all looks okay. Now I can take away my timer script block completely. I'll take that away completely. So no timer, and the keys to display are back to how it was by default. So this should launch. So save. Let's disconnect. Let's open up a new one. Go ahead and close all our garbage. Oh boy, too much garbage. Okay. And why isn't it starting now? I think we may leave it at that for today. I'm a bit exhausted. We've been streaming for quite a while. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. Let's have a final look here and before we put it away. I'm not quite sure. Didn't do anything special. Well, it gives us something to start with next time. And again, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. I hope you all had a great time watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you next time.